Once upon a time, in the faraway, frosty world of the Iceberg Isles, there was a rookery of penguins who were unlike any other penguins you've heard of before. These were not ordinary penguins. No, these were the bravest, the boldest, and the most adventurous of all. They were penguin pirates. The penguin pirates sailed the icy seas in their magnificent ship, the Snowy Squall. Crafted from the sturdiest icebergs and reinforced with the strongest snow, the Snowy Squall was a sight to behold, with sails as white as the surrounding glaciers and a flag waving proudly at the top of its mast, a flag with a picture of a grinning penguin wearing a pirate hat. The captain of this chilly crew was a plucky little emperor penguin named Captain Flip. Captain Flip was known far and wide for his cleverness and bravery. He wore a tri-corner hat atop his shiny head and a spyglass always tucked under his flipper. One day, as the Snowy Squall sailed through the frosty waves, a great snowstorm blew in from the north. The sky darkened, and the winds howled like a pack of wild Arctic wolves. The snow swirled around the Snowy Squall, blanketing the ship in a thick, white coat. "Arr, mateys," Captain Flip shouted. "This be no ordinary storm. We must batten down the hatches and steer through this frosty fray." First Mate Waddle, a sprightly rockhopper penguin with a yellow tuft of feathers on his head, quickly waddled to the helm. "Aye, Captain, steering into the storm it is." But the storm was fiercer than any storm the penguin pirates had faced before. The wind screamed like a banshee, and the snow piled higher and higher upon the deck, making it difficult for the penguins to even waddle about. "We'll not be defeated by this chilly challenge," Captain Flip encouraged his crew. "All flippers on deck. We need to work together to free our ship." The penguin pirates, each with their own special skills, began to work together to fight against the storm's grip. Cook Krusty, the penguin in charge of the galley, and his scullery mate, Scamp, started to shovel snow off the starboard side with pots and pans. Meanwhile, Bosun Beaky, a shrewd chin-strap penguin with a knack for fixing things, directed the crew to tighten the ropes and secure the sails. "Hoist the mizzenmast, secure the jib," he barked. The ropes were pulled taut, and the sails were tied down to stop them from catching the wind and dragging them further into the storm's heart. Below deck, in the comforting glow of lantern light, Navigator Noodle, a wise old macaroni penguin with a crown of long yellow crests, pored over the maps and charts. If we can navigate to the lee of Snow-Capped Cove, we can take shelter from the storm, he called up to Captain Flip. Aye, Navigator Noodle, that'll be a fine plan, Captain Flip replied. The penguins worked tirelessly, pulling ropes with their beaks, pushing snow with their bellies, and sliding across the icy deck as they passed messages and equipment to one another. Even the youngest penguin, Little Finn, joined in, using his small size to slip through tight spaces and pass tools to the others. As they worked together, something magical began to happen. The warmth of their teamwork started to spread throughout the snowy squall. The ice that had begun to form around the ship's hull started to melt, and the warmth of their friendship kept the cold at bay. Suddenly, with a great cheer, the penguins realized that the ship had started to move. Little by little, the snowy squall began to break free from the snow's clutches, inching its way through the icy waters toward Snow-Capped Cove. "We've done it, me hearties," Captain Flip exclaimed. "With teamwork and courage, we've turned the tide." The penguins cheered and honked in triumph as the ship sailed into the shelter of Snow-Capped Cove. The storm still raged outside, but within the cove's embrace, the snowy squall was safe and sound. With the ship secured and the storm blocked by the high cliffs of the cove, the penguin pirates gathered on deck for a celebration. They huddled together, sharing stories and warmth, and Cook Krusty served up a hearty meal of fish stew that warmed them down to their very flippers. As they feasted and laughed, they noticed that the storm seemed to be losing its fury. The winds calmed, and the snowflakes fell more gently now, like a blanket of peace being laid over the world. "Ye see, me hearties," Captain Flynn began, his eyes twinkling with pride for his crew, "this storm be a reminder that even in the chilliest of situations, it be our togetherness that brings us warmth. Our ship is not just made of ice and snow. It is built on the strength of our friendship." The penguin pirates nodded and honked in agreement, their hearts full of joy and their bellies full of stew. They knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they could face them together. As the night drew in and the stars twinkled like diamonds against the deep blue Arctic sky, the penguin pirates settled down for a well-deserved rest. The youngest penguin, Little Finn, snuggled up close to Captain Flip, his eyes heavy with sleep. "Captain," Little Finn murmured, "do you think we'll have more adventures like this?" "Aye, Little Finn," Captain Flip whispered back, tucking the young penguin under his wing. "As long as the seas are vast and the stars guide us, there will always be adventures for the penguin pirates." And with that, the penguins drifted off to sleep, dreaming of the new adventures that awaited them beyond the horizon. Together, they had weathered the storm, and together they would sail into the sunrise, ready for whatever the world would throw their way. The